Hi. So, there's so many manifestation videos out there, right? And I've studied manifestation for the last 5 years or so. But there's so many manifestations from people who want to attract their SP back. I didn't. Let me tell you a little bit why. When my marriage ended, it ended because my ex was now saying it was my fault, because of what he had perceived that I had done. It was all my fault. And he was so unhappy, and I'd never really quite understood how, because the day before we had been out walking our dogs, and laughing, joking. And then that night when I went to bed, I always went to bed before him. That night when I went to bed, night, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, love you, night. And that was it. Done. And then the next few days were a little bit strange, because we were like niggling at each other. I wasn't particularly happy what I was doing. Now I realise I wasn't particularly happy, full stop. But work-wise, I wasn't particularly happy. We were niggling a bit at each other. We were in COVID. Christmas had been terrible. New Year had been even worse. And it was just a horrible, horrible time. And then before I know it, it almost seemed in a matter of hours, he'd left, he'd gone. And it was all my fault, your fault, you're doing this, you're doing that, I'm not happy, I'm out here. And off he went, and he left. And I knew in my heart that he wasn't coming back. But then it transpires that there was another person involved. And from that moment on, there was no fucking way I was wanting him back. No fucking way was he coming back into my life. Well, he didn't want to, but even if he did, that was it for me. I don't want to have him back. I don't understand why some people are like, oh, he left me, he done this, he done that, but I want him back. No, you don't want him back. You want that feeling back. You're still in the identity of being their wife, their partner. You're still in that identity. And what you're wanting is to feel like you used to feel. You're having a feeling that you are assuming is a bad feeling. And I know it hurts. I've got so many stories I could tell you. I know how bad it hurts. I fucking do. I know what you're feeling. But you don't want him back. Why would you take somebody back who done that to you? I couldn't trust them again. Could you trust them again? What you want is a relationship that made you feel the way that made you feel. What you want is to have that feeling, that identity back of being their wife, their partner. That's what you're looking for, not them, because it can come from anywhere. And why the heck would you allow somebody to come back into your life and treat you like shit? Why? No. I used spirituality and studied the mind and studied hypnotherapy, and I do advanced hypnotherapy. I studied that in order to move on, in order to get something even fucking better, not to get him back. Oh, yes, that feeling of stability, of feeling loved, and I always did. That feeling is what I would have been craving, and letting go of that from my identity of not having that anymore. That's what hurts. Because you are still in the identity of being their partner, their wife, and getting all these nice things from them, like love and affection and caring, and being part of a partnership. And then all of a sudden you're not. Don't expect your identity to change like that, because it doesn't, and it won't. And there's gaps that you have to fill. There is feelings that you have to overcome. There are understandings that you need to make up yourself, because you don't always get what you need to hear from them. I got nothing. All I got was, it's your fault. This is all your fault. And they didn't take part. They had no part to play in it. And it was almost like it was so bad, I was lucky to get out alive. And that was what that was their perception. I've had to make up my own perceptions and my own reasons why this happened. Because for me to move on, if I listened to him, I'd never move on. Because I would feel so victimised that how the fuck could I move on when it's all my fault? And I don't know where I would have ended up if I had given that my focus. And I gave it enough focus over a couple of years before I actually thought, screw this, I'm not doing this anymore. So I'm going to help you and show you that life after them, you don't want your SP back. They're not that fucking special. But there's somebody else. If you want somebody in your life, there's somebody else. There's somebody else who'll be even better than them. And you can have that person. But first of all, you have to take your focus off what was. You have to take your focus off them. And then that person will come into your life, because the more that you are feeling the way you're feeling about them and wanting them back, you're not going to attract anybody else. And you're worth more than having him back, her back. You're worth more than that. If they want to leave, then fuck off. Good riddance. See you later. Thanks for the experience. It's been a blast. Now, what's next? Who's next? This was my journey. This was my experience. I did not want him back at all. And even though I felt really bad about myself and I felt worthless and I felt shame and guilt, I still had enough love for myself to say I'm not going through that again. But I also knew that it wasn't just him to blame. I knew I played a part in it because I study the mind and I study manifestation and I study, the universal laws and the power of I am. I study all that. And because of that, I knew I had a part to play. And I wanted to figure out what that was. So I turned that shit into me and said, right, how am I going to be better? Fuck you. I don't care what he does now. I don't care. He's decided not to be part of my life, and that's okay. You can make fucking your own decisions and say, don't want to be part. I don't want to be in your life anymore. I ain't going to pine after him for the next 20, 30 years, but it hurt like a fucker. And I needed to heal from that. And using the knowledge and experience and understanding my mind, that gave me the healing. I do not wish him or his partner any harm. Good luck. But they're no longer my focus. I'm the fucking focus. I'm the focus. Because I want to turn this into something that's going to give me freedom. You see, I see in all these Facebook groups and everywhere, oh, I want my SP back, he done this, he done that, and I want him back. And I think, don't you respect yourself enough that you want, that you that you would take him back or her back after they've done what they've done to you? Don't you think that you deserve more? And that is where there is a big gap. Because when I speak to people and they say, oh, I've not got, no, I want him back. And then when we delve really deep into this, it's because they don't have the self-confidence. They don't have the self-motivation or self-love, the self-respect. They don't have it. And they would rather just take them back, even though they behaved badly. No. Use this as your catapult to move on and to find that dream person, because they're out there. They're out there. But you have to change first. You don't change the external. You always go and you change internal. I'll catch you soon.